most of the candidates would, when they needed to be elected, they would call her and say, "Hi, my name is such and such, and I'm running for such and such, and we want to know if you can help us." Because I remember after she passed, a couple of candidates called me and was like, "I'm such and such, and I'm running for such and such. Could you help me?" I even do that now for a couple of candidates. I won't mention their name, and I would help them and say, "Look, give me your signs, give me your flyers, let me go knock on some doors for you. How can I help you?" Candace, I feel like it's good for our community. I do the same thing. And she was just instrumental in just getting up doing it. And when they found out that that's what she was doing, everybody just started to call her. And she was just instrumental, and she would hold elections. There was a lot of people in Durham not registered to vote. She would do registration drives. Actually, she won an award for registering the most people in Durham. And she did a registration drive. And of course, she would have her kids sitting right there with her. We would help her. And of course, they would scrutinize, because she registered so many people in Durham. They would say, "Is it legal? Did she do it right?" But she made sure she followed every letter to the T, that she got those people registered properly and legally. And when somebody wasn't when they would say, "Miss Ferrell," or "Mom, they said I can't register. Let me go in and see why. Her name is on the list," and she would check, and she would go from precinct to precinct to make sure people, was registered and their name. And if she found some reason that somebody didn't vote, she would go down to the Board of Elections. We had a good rapport with them. I mean, we just I remember Cindy, and I can't think of the gentleman who was over Cindy, and we would just sit there and just register people, input their information. They were like, "Well, Miss Ferrell, you need somebody in. We need somebody to input it." Tammy will input it. I'm like, "Why I got to input it?" And so Tammy inputting all these people in for registration to register these people to vote. When I tell you, Mama registered so many people, sometimes she would register over 1,500 people in a month. And they were like, they gave her an award. She received so many awards and accolades. I just can't even, go through them. But I remember she received that one, and they honored her, and I was like, she would always say, like, like most of us in the family, "I don't need an award for that. Somebody should have been done it. Why didn't somebody do it before? It was a needed community. Somebody should have been got out and registered these people to vote." She wasn't, it wasn't one particular race. She would definitely get us, African Americans or people of color or less fortunate. And because there was a lot of other people that was less fortunate, she would say, "Honey, come on in and register. Let me register you to vote. We're going to take care of this. And when we get these candidates in, they better do what we say, or else we're going to vote them out." And I remember one candidate, she was in the hospital. I'm not going to mention his name. She told him, she said, "I cannot believe it was before all this gentrification came about and all this stuff." She told him, she was like, "I cannot believe you let this happen to the city of Durham." She said, "You're pushing us out." She said, "Our taxes is going to go up." And she was dying. She was in Durham Regional Hospital. She had asked to see him. He wouldn't come. And she was like, "Get down and tell him I need to see him." And he came, and he was like, "I did not know you were this sick, Jessie." She said, "I don't care nothing about that." She said, "We all going to die." And she told us, the girls were sitting up in her room. She told us to leave the room. And you could hear her out of the room. And I could hear her say, "You let this happen to Durham. You let them tear Durham up and just change the downtown area. That was our area. They took over the Black Wall Street. They put a highway between it. You let them do all this stuff, and you should have more control of it." And so it was like, and actually he gave the eulogy at her funeral. And so he said, "I love Jessie." He said, "But I tell you, I had to fight her for everything." And he did. He had to fight her for everything. She stood up. She wasn't playing with him or any other candidate. Her and Cora was very good friends. Cora McFadden, Dr. Robinson, all of them came to her. They were like, "If you want someone to help you get into an office, you call Jessie." Ken Spalding, all of them. It was like, it was nobody that she didn't know. And it was like, "Mama, we're tired. We want to get our life on." She was like, "You don't have a life. Your life is when you grow up to have something for your kids. Have somebody in place for your kids to take care of you and your kids. I'm doing it now, and I'm trying to instruct you on how to do it. So you help me while you're helping me. You're helping your future. You're helping your kids. And you make sure when you do it, you get people in there who want to do the right thing for you. And if you see that it's not happening, then you can get people to vote them out and to get the person in who's going to help your community. So yeah, she was very instrumental. She loved politics, and that's where I get my love of politics. I also love politics. I rather look at the news and look at politics than to see a movie, believe it or not.
How are you similar and different from your mom?
Oh, everybody, a lot of people from Central knows Mom. So every time everybody see me, the first thing is, you look just like your mother. And I'm like, out of all the kids she had, you look more like your mom than anyone. And I'm like, no, I don't. And you're the one, because when she died, the minister's, I can't think his name, Dr. I think Williams, but he was at Mount Level Church. That's where she had a funeral. And he said, one of y'all going to take on her work. I'm the first one to say, I'm tired, I'm not me. And he pointed at me. And I'm like, no, don't point at me. And everybody started laughing. And I'm like, not me. But it seems like I have taken on that role. I can't say no. And she couldn't say no. And we would say no, Mom. Say no. You don't have to do this. And, so many times, and, my grandchildren and my children get on me and tell me, why don't you just say no? Why are you doing all of this? And I'm like, y'all are coming right out here to help me. So there's no need you tell me no, because I'm passing this down to y'all.